what we are going to be doing is talking about your website. Yes, your website for your accounting firm, and ultimately why people bring it up all the time with me and say, it's not doing what it needs to, or they say, we're working on our website. I hear that all the time. I feel like it's a perpetual thing for every firm. It's either we need to do it, we're going to be working on it, and it's just like, why isn't it in a place right now where you're happy in any capacity? And do me a favor, if you are in that kind of space right now where you're paying someone to do this, or you're just like, comment down below right now. If you're someone who is considering updating your firm or your firm's website, or you are currently investing in that or getting ready to invest in it or feel like you need to. And here's the funny thing about that is there's this huge slew of websites, quote unquote, specifically built for accounting professionals. And you would think that, well, they're relevant to me and my industry. So therefore they're going to be able to build a great website that drives results for me and my business. But when we go down the list, your Get Set Net, your Build Your Firm, your CPA Site Pollutions, all of the people that have been really trying to push this whole dedicated website for accountants, they all have the same exact strategy. The strategy is this. I'm going to give you a really templated site. I'm going to give you a lot of templates to pick from, though. You're going to pay me a monthly fee. I'm not going to update it. If I do update it, you're going to have to pay me to update it. And it may not be secure. And we're going to use the same exact blog posts that we use for our other 100 clients, and we're going to repurpose them for you. And that's somehow going to make you get results. And we're going to put a lot of pages, so we're going to confuse everyone. And then on top of that, we're going to have a little bit of just like a hodgepodge of information, so that I don't really know. It's not going to speak to anyone, but it's going to say you're an accountant, and you'll maybe eventually, hopefully one day, 18 months, if ever, get to the first page of Google. Where's my monthly fee? Does that sound like a good investment? And I say that from experience because I was signed up for CPA Site Solutions Gold Tier, CPA Site Pollutions Gold Tier platform, and promised me all these results and and then I called them because I started to get more into digital marketing when I was running my firm, and I noticed and I said, wait a minute, my site's unsecure. It clearly had this thing right next to the website, and it said it's unsecure. And I called them. I said, hey, you guys, I trust you. I'm getting monthly investment. You're supposed to, I'm not seeing the leads yet, but maybe it's because it's unsecure. And that's probably important because we're an accounting firm. And, if we show up as unsecure, I think that's a big problem, right? It's probably a really big problem. They're like, oh no, don't worry about it. Nobody cares. I was like, but I care. And they're like, but we don't care about you. I was like, wait, what? I was like, help me? And they're like, no. I was like, oh, okay. And then it started me on this journey. And now here I am to tell you that, yes, you could have a ClickFunnels site. Yes, you can have that. We're big fans of that. That's for a certain level of firm that's doing a certain type of activity online. But for the vast majority of people who are just getting their feet wet, don't really see any results from those monthly investments in SEO, I'm here to tell you it's time to stop the bleeding, get something that does something significantly better, and I'm going to show you how to do it 100% for free. Sound like a plan? You guys interested? Comments down below lets me know that you love Free Tool Friday, and then I will keep making sure you get the most high quality information for free for your firm. So here's the deal. I am now going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you how to do this. But before we even do that, I want to make one thing really clear. Okay, we can help you with a variety of these things related to how you can get your online scheduling tool set up, Igniter. Sign up for that if you have not already. We can also help you with making sure that your messaging is on point and speaks to your dream clients. I speak to you. You guys are my dream clients. If you want to speak the right message to the right market, your dream clients, increase the odds that someone wants to work with you. That's all we do. That's all we help our clients with. And we have a lot of people who could share that with you, that we do that at the highest level possible. So with that being said, let's dive into today's content and make sure that you know exactly how to build a website 100% for free. Now, there are a couple of website builders out there, but I'm going to use the one that I'll argue is by far the most powerful if you are a Google user. Now, we're big Google fans. I know a lot of people use Outlook and Microsoft, but if you use Google, you have a built-in website service provider directly in it, and it's really, really useful. The second thing that I'll say is if you already are investing in TaxDome, right? We made a sweet, sweet offer about 10 days ago with TaxDome. They have a website builder in there. So check to make sure that if you're making an investment and it has functionality like that, think about using it, right? Cut out those unnecessary costs. Look at what you're already using and maximize those current investments. So let's take a look at specifically the Google My Business actual website builder. Now, this might be a little confusing because if you use Google, there's a lot of different apps you have, right? There's the Google My Business, and you might even come down here and take a look at something that says sites and be like, is that what Tyler's talking about? Like, should I use sites? The answer is no, you should not be using sites. What I want to show you is actually a little secret sort of hidden path to getting a really well-built website that is tied essentially directly to your Google My Business profile. And if you paid attention to our digital marketing makeovers and how to drive reviews, the full strategy detailed on my LinkedIn profile 100% for free, if you paid attention to like any of that stuff, you know that when it comes to driving reviews, we say drive them here, right? Like drive them to this place. And just, you know, a little humble brag / flex here. Like when you take a look at your Google My Business listing, right? All those reviews, they show up, right? 33 5-star reviews. This is what it looks like for us. And we have it in a system set up in a way that keeps this constantly updated. Now, the benefit of that is that when you go back to actually logging into your Google My Business account, right? You actually go in, you log in, you take a look. If you don't have a website yet, you use Google or G Suite, you definitely have a Google My Business in some capacity, okay? So when you look at this, you scroll down here, all right? And you'll be able to see something that says website right here on the left. So I'm gonna slow down for a minute here because there's a lot of information that gets thrown at you the first time you log into Google My Business. I want us to just focus on one thing right now, and that is simply website, okay? If you click on website, guess what ends up happening here? You get to create a website 100% for free, and it aggregates the information that you've been pushing into Google My Business. Now, if you haven't been aggregating or pushing content, this is just your post, right? So like when I go to promote Free Tool Friday, when I go to promote an offer, when you go to promote like we just did with TaxDome, right? These things all get pulled into this website, which is really cool because you think about like blog management and all these different things. Like imagine if you could take your Facebook business page, if you've been posting or doing anything, and it could take all that information and aggregate it into a single place so that you could drive people to it, all free, all inside of what you've already been using as a tool. It's like such a cool thing that's really, really important to pay attention to. So if you haven't already been taking some form of content, again, even just like, hey, it's the October 15th deadline's right around the corner. Here's why it's important to make sure that if you're a business, you file, right? Boop, boop, boop. Takes you less than 10 minutes, bang, out the door. You've got that out there. So when you have that and you have this amazing way to drive traffic, right? It shows up organically. You drive reviews to it. You put posts on it, and then it takes it and goes, here's your website. So cool, right? All free. So then you just click on website, and just be advised, it says this $30 per year thing right here. You don't need, this is just saying like, hey, if you want to buy a domain in case you don't already have a domain, it says, here you go, right? But I don't need to do that, right? I already have, this is my former ad accountant's brand. I already have that. And so like, it will just like literally publish it directly to it. And so what's cool about this is like, literally, if you just like scroll through it, it's going to just pull all of the Google My Business information directly into it and give you a single page site that just like tells you what it needs to say. Isn't this awesome? So like your header photo is what is actually on your Google My Business page. And it just pulls that, sucks it in to this dedicated website. Okay. So awesome. Updates. And it's like, wow, look at how up to date these people are. Oh, overcoming pricing objections. You could say how to overcome tax liabilities and problems. And you may not have a dedicated date or a live or whatever, but if you have some form of content, anything, even just like a motivational quote, something, you have that as a piece of content that gets pulled into this page. Sign up, learn more. And then if you have testimonials that you've been repurposing as a form of content, like you get to drop, this will get automatically pulled into this dedicated site. So this is such an easy way, if you don't have one, to quickly get one operational, like super, super simple. And then you can play around with it, right? Like you might want to change the color themes. You might want to do some different things. You might like cream soda. Who doesn't love cream soda? I love cream soda so much. So point here is like, you have these different things that you can use to just play around with. And you can even come in here. So like, let me just discard these changes, and you can change the way your primary button works. Okay. Like you can change how this works, what it says. You can change the headline, change the description. And if you follow where my Dream Firm leaders at in our Create Your Dream Firm program, right? Like what's your description? Your description is your primary headline. It says exactly what it would want to, so that someone, if they read it, they say, oh, I'm in the right place, right? So ours is creating generational wealth and impact for entrepreneurial, we just say for accounting professionals, really. For accounting professionals, that includes bookkeepers, tax pros, by attracting and winning the business of their dream clients, right? So if you read that, you go, hey, I'm looking to create generational wealth and impact with my accounting firm. I want the business of my dream clients. Like, boom, that's your description. That tells you exactly what it needs to say. And again, if you're like, I don't know what my message is, or it sounds generic, it's like, I just, help small businesses save taxes. That's what everybody else says. There's no impact in that, right? It's very, very limited, it's too wide. So you get very little results. And the question is, how do you just like get something that's like, you're speaking to me, I want to work with you, let me raise my hand, let me book that call. How do you do that? How do you do that? That's what we help you with, right? So if you don't know what to write here, let me know, message me, whatever, sign up for Igniter. We'll help you with that, okay? And then you can put even more information in here if you felt it was necessary, okay? So point is, if you go ahead and save this, right? Bada bing, bada boom, it will update it onto the page, right? Now it says this. Now it says this. Wow, fantastic. I've got even a little piece of descriptional text. Make sure that someone knows that they're in the right place. Ultimately, I'm speaking to them. Get a quote. Or I could change that button to say whatever I want, right? Maybe I say, learn more, contact us, call now, make appointment, right? That's probably what I point. Appointment links, acuity scheduling, recommended inside of Igniter, tell you exactly how to get it set up, make it a conversion machine for you. Drop your appointment link in here. Simple, straightforward, very, very easy to do, okay? So let me just grab some, like a random Create Your Dream Firm. I'll just take my strategy call for it, and I'll just drop it in there, right? If you want to drop that in there, schedule a call, feel free, right? Boop, saved, okay? And then you've got this, well, I did just save it, so save, okay. So then you can add more photos if you want, right? You can come in here, you can select, upload them. And let me just make this clear to you guys. I think that there's this very weird thing in the entrepreneurial environment right now, where it's like, in order to create content, you have to have brand new content every single day, right? Like, that's not true. Really, what most people do is they take their best headshot or 2 or 3 headshots from a just session they did like a year or 2 years ago, and they use it 100 different ways. That's it. Like, they take the same fundamental assets and they repurpose them over and over and over and over again. It's just called refreshing your creative. And so what I say to you is that, like, if you don't have that headshot where you're like, that's fire, like that, I look great there, I look professional, that's the way my dream clients expect me to look, make that investment, even if it's with your own iPhone and your mom, right? Just like, Mom, help me out. Like, there's a white wall behind me. I want to take this picture real quick. Boom, updated asset, take it. I'm going to take some poses, right? Like, yeah, Mark Adams got this one down pat. But point is like, there are all these different, various ways that you can express yourself, take that and repurpose those images over and over and over again. Okay. Let's see what's more here. Okay. Publish now. So this is the last step, right? Like, again, this is nothing complicated. I did this in less than like 15 minutes. I'd hit publish. And then as soon as I go to publish it, right, I'll just hit publish just so that you guys can see what this process looks like. View site. This is what it's going to actually look like when it's done. Okay. Business name, primary headline, call to action, big banner image. Cool, right? And you might say, but I can't click on this, right? I can't. Sure, you're going to have some trade-offs on a free site. That's going to happen, right? You can't immediately jump to the Proactive Accountants community from here. Okay, but you're not spending any money. So it's okay that it doesn't have all the perfect functionality that you'd want. Does it do the main thing that we want it to, which is book appointments, get people on your calendar, express your primary value proposition, right? Does it do those things? Yes. Does it make you look like you're alive and have been updating recently because you've been keeping your Google My Business updated, and you should be keeping it updated like once per week, update Google My Business. It's one of the major factors in ranking on maps and on SEO. Like you would definitely want to do this. And it's like, what happens when you click read more? It'll bring you to almost what feels like this own like little separate thing. And what happens when you click learn more? Oh, it brings you to the thing that you wanted them to do, right? It brings you directly into the Proactive Accountants Facebook group. So you can just so easily create something that has multiple layers to it, looks super professional, and look, it aggregates the reviews. Oh my goodness, I didn't even realize it did this, right? Like I knew it did this in a certain sense, but it aggregates them. Come on, this is so sweet. And you might say, but Tyler, there are no faces. You can't go in here and bold, how important it is for when Jennifer says are amazing to work with, the one-on-one sessions with Tyler are invaluable. Like if this was a ClickFunnels site, I would be able to have all that layers of control, which lead to higher levels of conversions. Like that's important. But if you're saying, I want a free website, I'm looking at this monthly investment into this generic accounting specific thing, and it does nothing for me, I'd say cut the cost. That's not an investment. If it doesn't give you a return, go to something free, okay, that has a much legitimately higher chance of ultimately giving you a better return for your buck. And you might say, well, this image area, this gallery looks bad. Fine. It does. I don't disagree with this, right? Like horn, 12:03 a.m. I don't disagree with that, but it's free, right? Like it's better than nothing. And that's one of the major driving lessons that I just want to I want to really just impart on you guys right now. Something is better than nothing. Something is better than nothing. Something is better than nothing. And I'll give you the reason this has been really just like a sticking point of conversation for Marina and I lately. There's this dude who started a company. Okay, he was in the same exact positions Marina and I were in maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. He's a little younger than we are. So I'm like, are you kidding me, bro? Right? How? It's basically, he did 80 million in sales in 4 years. And I was like, how? And he targets gyms. His name's Alex and Layla Hermosi, Gym Launch Secrets. And or Gym Launch is their name now. But point is, I was like, how? I was like, what? And we started analyzing like their content and like their funnels. And I was like, all of our stuff looks better and more professional than theirs does, but they had more. And I believe it's because they live by something is better than nothing. Like get it live, let it out there, see what happens. And so for those of you who are maybe a little paralysis by analysis, sort of paralyzed, thinking about perfection, I know. I help my clients solve this problem all the time. Imposter syndrome, help my clients solve this all the time. Messaging, I help my clients solve this all the time. And so I know what it feels like to be like, should I? Yes. I don't know how else to say it. Yes, you should. Yes, you should make that post. Yes, you should make that group. Yes, you should reach out to that prospective dream client and tell them you want to work with them. It's Q4, ladies and gentlemen. It is no longer time to wait for hopefully perfect. Perfect does not exist. Progress is the only thing that matters. Something is better than nothing. Something is better than nothing. And whether it's a good but not unbelievably good site, you've got it. Even if it doesn't have any posts, even if it doesn't have any of the images, even something is better than nothing, okay? And if you're spending for something and it's giving you nothing, that is not better. That is worse, right? That is way, way, way worse. So again, just keep in mind that you can measure and analyze results online. If you're not even sure if your website is doing something for you, simply go to and we do this on the digital marketing makeovers. I think we did a free tool Friday on it. You can analyze SEO results. So if you've been paying for months, even years, you can very quickly and easily go to SEMRush. All right, let me just share my screen real quick. You can go to a company called SEMRush.com. I think that's what it's called. This is it. And you can put your website in here, okay? Another cool thing that I've done is that if you look up, like Build Your Firm's an obvious one, CPA Site Pollutions is another one. But if you look up a blog from one of those websites, okay, and you just put in quotes, I'll just do it real quick. But I don't want to publicly shame anyone. So if you put the blog in quotes, you'll be able to then just say, you'll be able to bring up all the other websites that are using that same exact blog content. Like, that's not, like, I know they call it copywriting for a reason, but you don't want to do that. Like, you don't want to do that. And if you want to measure your SEO results, you go to SEMrush, plug in your website. If you don't show up for anything on the first page, time to stop, time to move to something free, reinvest those dollars into something else. Okay. So with that being said, that's today's Free Tool Friday. There are other free website builders out there. You can use Wix, you can use Squarespace, but Papa Google's Papa Google for a reason, right? Why go anywhere else? It's hard for me to justify it. It's hard for me to justify it. Yes, you'll have your domain hosting costs like 20, 30 bucks a year or whatever, but that's standard no matter where you go. So that's how you build a website for free. Keep your Google My Business page updated. No reason you shouldn't. Drive your testimonials to it. Look super sharp. 100% free. Make them schedule calls. Use Acuity. If you don't know how to get that set up, $47 investment in Igniter. And if you're looking to take things up to the next level, feel free to message me directly. Tell you about how we can work one-on-one together and through our Create Your Dream Firm program. And remember, only you can make your dream firm a reality, but I'm here to help you every single step of the way. Have a great weekend, everyone. See you on next Friday. And remember, something is better than nothing.